Blog Talk Radio.
The following ingredients include a look behind the scenes. Cook uncovered until hot. Add first taste.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl.
The accident was over a year ago. A second woman has been elected president. The 12th planet has been named in the solar system. The last wild polar bear has died. I slept through it all. I was here for my waking. He called it a beginning. He said it was good. I think he may have thought that anything I did was good.
Welcome to Transition Radio, live from Hollywood, Florida, with your host and hostess, Mark Angelo and Jessica Lynn Cummings. Show for trans folks, by trans folks, here to let your voice be heard. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Transition Radio. Tonight, we have a very special guest. Elvira Diaz, an immigrant from Mexico City, a Catholic and a single mom. Divorced with 2 kids, Shirley Diaz, 23, and Christian Arroyo, 7. After a divorce from a marriage of 15 years, she decided to start her new life and had one more child as a single mom. Elvira explains that the physical body of her new child was that of a female, but she identified as a male as early as 4 years old. She noticed something very different about her baby girl, Jessica. She liked Winnie the Pooh, Spider-Man, and to play with cars. She did not like to wear dresses and acted like a boy. Elvira educated herself, and instead of breaking her child's spirit, learned about gender identity disorder, and is now an advocate and an ally for the transgender community, supporting Christian, her beautiful FTM child. And we are very lucky to have her on our show tonight. Elvira, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you so much for having this show, Angelo. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. So how are you this evening?
I'm a little nervous because English is my second language, but I'm very happy to be in your show.
And we're very happy to have you. Not to worry. Yeah. English is my second language as well. So we set up a few questions here for you, and I would love to hear Christian's voice if that's possible. And if we have time, we'll take calls from outside. But I am very amazed on how understanding and loving parent you are, not having that support when I grew up. And I see parents like you, and it brings hope into my heart. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being such a wonderful mother. First question of the night is...
You're welcome.
Yes. First question is, there are many parents facing your situation and are having a tough time dealing with this. Would you say your child has been a gift or a burden?
Definitely, my kid, Christian, is a big gift to me and to the community.
That's wonderful.
Okay, I have a question for you, Elvira.
Yes.
I know it must have been difficult for you. What helped you get through the initial hard times dealing with Christian?
Can you repeat the question a little more slow? Sorry, my English is my second language.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Basically, what helped you get through the tough times dealing with Christian? The hard times, the things that were the most difficult for you to deal with.
First of all, the most difficult to me to deal is I was really ignorant about the existence of transgender people. Mm-hmm. So it's just to learning something that you have no idea even exists. It's kind of hard to understand what's going on with your kid. It's like usually when I'm a mom, so I have mom experience before, and kids always ask you kind of maybe about the learning about the sexuality or the identity. So it's just difficult enough, to answer the questions to your kids. But when a kid asks you, one day Christian asked me, Mom, I pray to God I want to have a Winnie by tomorrow, And then you say, what's going on with this kid, I was just kind of like, I didn't have the answer for my kid. I didn't know even the answer for myself. I feel very confused. I feel like I just moved to Reno because I divorced, so I didn't have too much people close to kind of ask that intimate question, It was very difficult.
And I have to give you credit because the strength that you have shown, having, first of all, to deal with all the things you've dealt with, a divorce and being brought up Catholic, and that you still were able to climb all those obstacles and you were able to be a beacon of light for your child. And I commend you for that. When was it that you noticed something was different with Christian, and how did you handle it?
The first time I noticed kind of something not clicking with him is I remember the daycare for Christian. I used to own a bakery, so the daycare kind of closed. So I need to find a babysitter, and the babysitter was a little farther than the daycare. So I remember I dropped Christian, when was Jessica, to this babysitter, and I left in my car. I left the baby bag that you have with the diapers and all those things, and then and to change the baby. And when I pick up my kid, the babysitter have a boy. So she told me, Elvira, sorry, you left your the baby diapers, and I put my I put my boy ones to your Jessica, just because she had an accident. So Jessica was wearing boy clothes, and I noticed the underwear that he was using. She always want to use it. I'm like, I said, oh my God, what's this? When these kids, maybe he likes the Spider-Man, underwear. So I just took it as that. But that's my first time that I recall, having a different kid, like a different gender. Before that, I wasn't even paying attention too much because, she liked to play with Legos. So everybody likes to play with Legos. So that was the first time I recall, and I remember my babysitter until today. She's thinking it's because of her, my kid is transgender, but it's not because of that. It's just because it was the first sign that we saw in Christian.
So she felt good, or he felt good wearing the actual male underwear, and that was the first indicator to you that Christian identified as male and felt comfortable wearing a male pair of underwear.
And let me tell you, I didn't know. I thought he just liked the Spider-Man boxers, He at that time, Jessica, for me it's hard because when I refer my baby before transition, in my mind was a girl. So it's hard to explain people. So when my baby changed as a boy, now it's Christian. So I'm going to go back and forth because it's the best way I can recall my kid. I recall him as a girl before and then boy. Always he's been a boy, but it's hard to refer as a boy when you remember as a girl. It's hard. I don't know how to explain you this, Angelo. I don't know if you...
No, we understand.
Definitely.
You speak very well.
Very good English. I have a question about, the situation. I know, background of Latinos, they come from very strict families and Catholic upbringing. So I was wondering, has that made it harder to deal with Christian, and if so, why is that?
Yeah, you can imagine how challenging it is. It's not just the fact that I'm Latino. It's the fact that I am immigrant, and I'm still immigrant. So as an immigrant, to navigate for the new country is a challenge. And then when you navigate in the country with a challenge, because if you are just American born here and you know the system, being transgender is a challenge. But added to be immigrant and to be a woman, a single woman, and be Catholic. I'm very, I worked for the Catholic Church for 20 years. So
right.
it's like suddenly you personally helped me to be Catholic because I'm very close to God, and I think God made everybody with the same love, and that gives me the strength to say. To me, it's like God give me this gift as Christian to show the world that we all love and we are the same.
Amen.
That profound message. But what's hard for me just to share my experience with Christian to Catholics who are not that deep into the connection with God. I don't know if I explained myself.
Yes, you did.
But
yes,
what I decide to do with Christian is I stopped going to the, we used to, because when we had a transition, we also moved from Carson to Reno. It's kind of close, 45 minutes away. So I stopped going with, actually Christian is never gone back as a Christian in the Latino church mass that we used to go. I haven't been exposing him because I'm trying to protect him from the rejection. So for me, it's like I start my new life. I start new friends, change. I moved houses 4 times in 1 year.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's like, because I get kicked out, I send letters, the memos, you need to backhand your department, you need to move another room. And I didn't know what was going on until it clicks to me. Of course, I have a transgender kid. And the moms of these kids don't want to be around with a transgender kid around, a weird kid or whatever they think. So it's like you have no idea the big challenge. To me as a mom, I'm happy that I experienced the transition from him. I think from him, he just gained what he is. But, I remember this. This is very, very kind of weird, but this is what happened. I remember when he likes to swim. He's a swimmer. He's like a fish. So we used to live in this apartment where they have swimming pool. But I was thinking about how about he changed later, and he likes to wear like no girls swimming pool anymore. He likes to wear the boys. But I was worried about the top part, because I said if I teach him to be without a top part, when his boob grows, it's going to be weird, So what I did is I went to the mall, and I buy in the Disney store like a swimming suit, like a for boys, but it has top part. So it's like a nylon, for the swimming. Christian wore that for 4 months every day. He didn't want to wear anything else but that.
Oh.
And I gotta wash this every day because it cost me about $50. I was kind of poor, so $50 for me was a lot of money. So, and I say that's it's transition is hard because what happened is you don't know what's going on. You don't know, you question yourself, I'm doing right, I'm doing wrong, I should have wait, who I need to ask. Therapists, I don't speak well English, they don't understand me, Latinos, they don't get this. So it's very, very difficult. I don't know how to explain you, but praying is a good thing for me.
God has guided you, and
yes,
I'm very proud of you, and like I say, you're a wonderful mother. Let me ask you this. My mother took some medication because she couldn't get pregnant. She had a thyroid problem. Were you under any medication or any excessive type of stress when you were pregnant with Christian?
Angelo, when I read that question yesterday, I cry. I cry a lot because I know maybe why you're coming from the question. When I was pregnant with Christian, I was 6 months pregnant. I was working in the church. I was the director of religious education in the church. 6 months pregnant. I worked for this church for 10 years. I have a big community. And the priest asked me to, they fired me because I was pregnant. So I couldn't believe that. Gives me, you can imagine the stress that I was getting without a job and without my community. So I remember being pregnant, and I decided, I'm going to enjoy this pregnancy because I really want this boy, this kid, whatever I have. People did a march supporting me, like we're going to Elvira back to the church. But from the church, I make a scene and a big scene and things like that. So yes, I was in a lot of stress, and I didn't think never about that, Angelo. Never think about that. I was in a lot of stress.
I do believe there's a lot of connection with that and us transgender being born because of the challenges that are being placed within this very, very, what is the word I'm looking for, delicate system where the gender is being created as well as the genitalia. So when there's something, whether it's chemical stress or just stress in general, I think something takes place. But there's nothing to be blamed about because I believe we're beautiful human beings and we are here to teach the world unconditional love. Christian has been a tool to help the world learn unconditional love. And you, Elvira, have been a tool of God to help spread that word.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely.
Thank you so much.
Tell us a little bit about Christian's character. How is he handling the whole situation, and does he get teased at all at school or anything like that?
Let me tell you first about Christian. When Christian was maybe 2 or 3 years old, he's very spiritual. I mean, I didn't spend as much time as I did with my other kids to go to school, to church every Sunday and every day and things like that with Christian. And Christian, for example, when I used to have my business, I have a guy who has a DUI. He came from New York, and he was in a house arrest. But he was from New York, so I let him stay in my house. Say, poor kid, you should be in my house in house arrest instead of the jail for DUI, right? So Christian, this guy was like super depressed and super like that. Christian was Jessica at that time. So Jessica put his hand in his forehead, and he told this guy, "Don't worry, everything is going to be okay." And since that day, that guy changed completely, and he left my house being Christian or something. You know, he was like not believing God, and he could get out of my house believing. And he told me, that little Jessica you have has some kind of power. So I don't know. I learning now more. I now kind of meeting more people that's trans are, and I notice that trans people in the Aztec communities, they were the spiritual leaders. So something like that is kind of gift they have, you know, and that's how I see Christian. Christian, yes, Christian has been teased, but I've been teach Christian to be proud to be transgender and to not hide it. And of course he now what he does now is, you know, he picks good people to tell them that he's trans. He said, I'm going to tell this person my secret. And I said, we'll not keep secrets, Christian. It's okay, you can tell him. But he handles so, you know, sometimes I'm the one who gets more mad than him. He doesn't get mad. He's like, you know, it's okay, Mom, they don't know. You know, take it easy, Mom, they don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And that's so great because, I mean, we as transgender people, we are a very loving spirit. And, you know, we have a lot more power than a lot of us think we do for a lot of things. And I've experienced a lot of that in my life growing up. And Mark has too. And Mark has stories about that as well, which that's magnificent.
I believe we're indigo. And I don't know if you know what the word indigo is, but our crystal children. We've come to this planet to help heal it, and we have a lot of spiritual abilities. And many transgender people hide these things because of the self-hatred they have. But if they learn to tap into their heart, their inner light, they would realize we are healers. And we were known as shamans and healers and teachers back in ancient time. And we need to rise up, and that's one of the reasons we're starting this show, to show people the injustice of transgender people.
Exactly.
When Christian
that's correct. That's correct. I'm very agree with you guys. Very agree.
When Christian got to be himself, what were the changes you saw in him?
You know, let me just tell you this. I used to do. I was learning how to do TV shows. Christian, when he was Jessica, he was the most beautiful girl. I mean, very cute, super cute kid. Like it's like everybody stop and look at he has nice eyes and blonde hair, and he's nice features. He's very cute, good-looking kid. But when I wasn't doing the TV shows, he never wanted to be on camera. he never liked to have pictures. He takes a lot of pictures. Also, he is very good observer. So he takes my camera and takes pictures of people. So he's my, paparazzi guy, takes pictures. Nobody pays attention to him. And when he changed, oh, my God. He likes to be in YouTube. He likes to dance. He has the big smile. You know, when you take pictures, when he used to be Jessica, hey, Jessica, smile, and just like that fake smile, like Colgate smile, just like faking, just for the picture. But now he's like, he doesn't care about nothing. He's happy. He's just a happy kid, He's just himself, and of course he really, you cannot tell right now. I mean, if you see Christian, you don't even think his body's girl. He climbs in the trees and do more tricks than the boys. He hits big boys. Big boys comes to my house and say, hey, Christian, hit me. I'm looking at this big boy. I'm okay. I said, okay, I'm going to tell Christian to behave, But it's like, I just laugh inside myself. I'm sorry. I say, if you know it, At the beginning, for my transition, I when they play soccer or something, I was outside watching because I was afraid somebody's going to hit my kid or something. But no, he's like, he gets hit, he doesn't cry. He's strong boy, He's more strong, It's like, I don't know if his will or whatever. Physically, he's strong also. So, he really is a boy. Just happened to have the wrong, the wrong parts. That's all.
Exactly. Well, see, I went through the same thing. People would always have to tell me, smile for pictures and everything like that. And, even as an adult, I wasn't able to give a real smile. Now, my smile shines through, so I know what you mean about the picture thing. That's funny. Okay, what advice do you have for other parents that are going through the same situation that you're going through with Christian?
What I'm telling you right now, and when I talk to parents, because I talk to a few parents, in this type of era, thanks God, we have better communication with our kids. And that's why right now you see more transgender kids. It's not because before people, as a kid, were not transgender. It's because before the parents don't talk to the parents and the kids. I remember I never talk about sex with my mom. So now, as we're getting closer to our kids, when a kid tells you something, you got to listen to the kid. If, for example, you can misdiagnose transgender, but you need to kind of listen and see. If the kid is not happy with the body parts, that's a sign that they're transgender. If the kids, it's a little different things that you need to read. And just be patient, don't freak out. It's not the end of the world. It's okay, and love them the way they are. And if they're gays or straight, it's the same thing. If they're tall, fat, smart, or maybe they have Down syndrome, doesn't matter. Wherever your kid is, just accept the kid, love the kid. And the most important, give them your support and your love, and give them self-esteem. Empower them, educate them, like any other kid. But it's I think, I remember when I'm a community organizer. That's my job. So when I was organizing 25 different churches, Catholic, Christian, and Jewish churches, organizing the leaders of the church, like the pastors and the priests and the rabbis. So we used to meet once a month, and I started bringing Jessica to those meetings. But in the transition, Jessica started becoming Christian, right? And I forget to tell them about Christian transgender because the meetings had nothing to do to talk to my kid. He was just with me. So I remember at the beginning, the prayer or something, somebody asked a question, and then Christian stands up and say, guys, what you don't know is we're all the same. Everybody's the same. What are you guys talking about? And you should see priests and pastors and rabbis listen to little Christian. Christian was probably 5. And the rabbi next month approached me because I didn't bring Christian next month for whatever reason. She told me, you know what, Elvira? You're very lucky. God gave you a great challenge. You're going to educate and love the world about transgender. Because many people have this kind of, we call taboos about people. And in the ancient times, transgender are the spiritual leaders. I don't understand why we didn't know nothing about now. I don't understand why we didn't know nothing about now, you know.
Exactly.
But we need to bring it back and empower and learn, you know. So this rabbi told me that. I'm like, oh, thank you. I because, you know, these religious people don't tell you things like that. They, you know, they keep it to themselves, and then they talk to you later on about Christian. And my pastor was there when I transitioned Christian, and he said, Elvira, I'm with you, don't worry. We love Christian, Jessica, whatever name it is, you know. So sometimes what it is, do not be afraid, you know, be yourself. Some people are going to reject you, and that's okay. They will reject you if you're smart, if you're dumb, if you're fat, if you're skinny, if you're trans or you're cis or you're heterosexual, okay. So don't worry. But yes, be transgender is an extra challenge, and I'm not going to lie about it. Some days I don't want to deal with this. Some days I want to, you know, don't think about the challenge, you know. Some days you don't even think about it, and you get so many gifts back also. So it works both ways.
Exactly.
Has your family become more accepting now since you've educated them and they see how happy Christian is?
Okay, my family, because like I say, I have a challenge that I'm immigrant. So I have my daughter, Shirley, is fantastic. She and I, we discovered together the transgender world. You know, we watch YouTube, and we have the Tyra show of transgender kids. We saw the whole thing, and that's how we learn. But okay, I have 8 brothers and sisters, and I have 2 that completely reject my position. 2, they're like, no way. So last year I went to Mexico City where my mom lives. My mom was 80 years old last year. So I went to his birthday, but I didn't bring Christian because the passport, and I was worried about coming back with Christian, a different name, Jessica, and looks like a boy, all that drama. So I just went to my house to kind of check the waters in my house, you know, in Mexico. So my brothers who are journalists, 2 of them, they're fantastic. They're like, Elvira, which doctor keeps going with therapy, with this? They're super wonderful. One told me that I'm going to go to hell, that, you know, crazy, stupid things. My mom told me, my mom is very traditional mom, and she told me, Elvira, tell Christian that I love him the way he is. Doesn't matter what he looks like, what his name is. Tell him that I'm the grandma and I love him. I don't understand what is transgender, but I don't care. I just love him the way he is. So I was like shocked that she was so open, my mom. And then my brother, I have a brother who lives in Oregon. So I went to Oregon actually to a training to learn about, they have a class they call Transgender 101. So I want to take the class because I want to educate myself more, right? So I have a brother who lives in Washington, very close to Oregon. I told him, I can go 2 days before to stay with you. And he said, no, I don't want you to bring to my house that transgender thing to my house. I don't want you to stay here. So that's like, you know, you get, you know, so you don't get the 100% approval for everybody. That's what you learn. But hurts, yes, hurts.
We have less than 2 minutes left in the show, and we want to remind the viewers that we're going to be on Skype after the like around 11:45. So if people want to join, do you have a Skype account, Elvira?
You know what? I have my iPhone. I don't know how to use it. I'm sorry. I think I do have Skype, but I don't know how to use it.
Well, if you do
I apologize.
Transition Radio. If you ask for our friend in Transition Radio, and we could get you on, that would be great.
Also, will we be able to say hi to Christian?
You can send me a question via text if I don't get the Skype.
Okay, but can you put him on the phone to say hello?
Can I put what?
Christian on the phone to say hello, for him to say something.
No, Christian is with Daddy because I don't have Christian this week with me. He's coming tomorrow. I'm sorry. No, I don't have Christian.
No problem. So, you have one more question.
One more quick question. Who have been yours and Christian's role model throughout all of this?
Can you repeat the question?
Okay, we have actually 30 seconds left, but do you have any role models in the transgender community? Who have been your role models?
You guys are my role models. Angelo, you were one when I found you in internet. I have one guy also here. He's one Chris. That when I met Chris, I said, if Christian is going to be like this Chris, He's another transgender guy. He's about 35. He is fantastic. And the people in the media, you know,
they're going to cut us off in 4 seconds. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you, listeners. Love you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Remember,
love you guys. Thank you.
Too. Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Good night. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
The horizon, I see the smoke, the shades of color, it all flows. We walk like zombies through the fire in disbelief of what just happened. Everyone's scurrying through the jungle. No rock or soul left unturned. Here we go again, the planets are shifting. The earth has seen better days. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Game is over. Here we go again, the planets are shifting. The earth has seen better days. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Game is over. They come with uniform, they come with force to instill the new world order. Did you not notice all the subtle changes? I bet you ignored all the warnings. Now you will see something like you never seen before. This is beyond any story. Here we go again, the planets are shifting. The earth has seen better days. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Game is over. Here we go again, the planets are shifting. The earth has seen better days. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Game is over. I see a light now from far, far away. Mothership has landed. We will meet our maker. We will learn the truth. Today's a day like no other. Here we go again. The planets are shifting. The earth has seen better days. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Game is over. Go again, the planets are shifting. The earth has seen better days. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.